What is going on, Jerome's? Happy Monday. It's almost here, the NFL Draft of 2023 version, and it's prediction time because all the rumors and innuendo are swirling around. It is BS season. It is the most BS week, the most BS time of the year, but we have 10 hot fire predictions that what's going to go down in the first round on Thursday. Number one, Anthony Richardson goes number one. Now, I understand that this may not be controversial, but it does seem like it is Bryce Young dialed in at one. But maybe the Panthers don't have to put out any BS at all. They don't. But if they're really in on one prospect and another team is in on another, maybe they can coax a little something to trade down and still get their guy. Who really knows? But I do think that Richardson, given the Panthers' history of Cam Newton and the good times that they had, they went to the Super Bowl, Cam was MVP. Richardson can be a better version of Cam. Like, Cam was never a great passer, to be honest, like in terms of accuracy. Now, that's the same knock against Richardson, but Richardson is larger, he is faster, he is stronger, he has a better arm, and I think that he has a chance to really be something special in this league in the right situation. And with Frank Reich and McCown and the Panthers, it could work. It could work, man. Like, if you're gonna bet, may as well bet big. Next up, number two, Vikings trade up for a quarterback. So this is the worst kept secret out there, where the Vikings are interested in a quarterback. 23 is towards the back of the pack, but do they pay the cost to be the boss? Yes, I think they certainly could and should. And this actually plays into predictions 3 and 4. So both the Texans and the Cardinals trade out of 2 and 3 respectively, and quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the Vikings trading up for a quarterback. Could it be 2? Could it be 3? Potentially. And you know what? If the guy is there, if the guy that Kevin O'Connell and the scouting staff and Kwesi says, like, hey, we're going to build our franchise around him, go get him. Go get him, because I'm tired of the lack of succession plan. I'm tired of this, that, and the other thing. And, Kirk, they made it clear that this is going to be his last season, so go get the next quarterback. And, hey, it's going to cost a lot to get up to 2 or 3, but is the juice going to be worth the squeeze? Possibly. I like Richardson. I love Bryce Young. I love C.J. Stroud. I like Will Levis. So if they deem that one of those guys is the guy, go up to 2 and 3 and go get him. And another team, our predictions, quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think the Colts are going to take whatever quarterback is left at 4 in all likelihood, and teams that could leapfrog the Colts and potentially move up for a quarterback, looking at the Raiders, looking at the Titans for sure. And I don't know. There's always wild cards. Like, could the Bucs make a move? Who knows? Yeah, you could say, well, 19 is a big jump. Vikings literally just made the jump from 23. So I think things are going to get spicy. And they've never had a draft for quarterbacks go 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be so ironic in this class where there's no sure thing at quarterback, yet they go 1 through 4. It would be hilarious, man. Next up, number 5, Jalen Carter falls out of the top 10. So this is less to do with his off-the-field stuff and more the going after more valuable positions, where Jalen Carter, yes, game wrecker on the inside, but you look at quarterbacks 1, 2, 3, 4. You look at cornerbacks on the outside with Gonzo and Witherspoon. You look at edge rushers with Anderson and Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson. Maybe even Nolan Smith gets in there. So it just turns into a numbers game. And I don't think Carter falls far. I think that his floor will be 12 with the Texans if they stay put there. But it is a little bit of a draft day tumble. And it will be interesting to see what happens. Next up, hot fire prediction number 6 for the first round of the draft. Zay Flowers ends up being wide receiver 1. Now, for me, I like Zay a lot, but I see him more as wide receiver 2, 3. Like him, Addison, and Johnston, where JSN is clear wide receiver 1. But Zay Flowers' downfield explosiveness and deep threat capability could certainly be very interesting for one of these teams. Now, where could he land? I mean, if you put him on the Eagles with AJ and Devontae, that'd be pretty damn studly. The Titans could pull a trick there, even though they should and could be interested in a quarterback. Maybe they trade back into the first round and get Hendon Hooker. The Texans, obviously, even though they didn't snag a quarterback in our random fan fiction scenario, having a downfield presence for Davis Mills or a quarterback in round 2 would make sense. The Patriots, yes. The Packers, yes. The Commies going with Scary Terry and Curtis Samuel, sure. Next up, hot fire prediction number 7. only 2 tight ends go in round 1. So this is seen as the deepest tight end class in NFL history. But I actually think that only 2 guys make the first round because the class is so deep. Sometimes that can work against guys where if they're relatively close in terms of where teams see them, teams can be like, we could wait. Why take a tight end in round 1? We wait till round 2 or round 3 and get a very similar player. So that could actually work against these guys. But I do think that Dalton Kincaid from Utah makes it in the first round. And I'm going to say Sam Laporta from Iowa goes ahead of Darnell Washington from Georgia, goes ahead of Luke Musgraves from Oregon State, goes ahead of Myers from Notre Dame. So I think that just a way that tight end U works his way back in there, man. Next up, hot fire prediction number 8. Hendon Hooker goes late first. So of the teams that didn't get the top 4 quarterbacks. So in our scenario, we'll say Panthers, Richardson, Vikings 2, going up and getting, I don't know, Stroud, Bryce Young, whatever. A quarterback at 3 and then a quarterback at 4. The Saints potentially could be taking a quarterback at 29. Maybe they move her around a little bit because 5th-year option is going to be very valuable, even though Hendon Hooker will be 42 years old by the time his 5th-year option kicks in. Or the Seahawks, if they don't go quarterback at 5 or 20, or the Raiders getting back into the first, or the Titans getting back into the first, getting that 5th-year option on Hendon Hooker. Tennessee would make sense since it's clear that Tannehill is done. Or, they're going to run it back for 1 more year, and they probably have lost faith in Malik Willis. So getting Hendon Hooker, who's already a local celebrity from his time in Knoxville, would make sense there. Next up, number 9. Number 9, Quentin Johnson falls out of the first round. So I understand why some people see Johnson as wide receiver 1. I see him more as wide receiver 2, 3, but I think that it's going to be a weird spot where in our example, Zay Flowers goes as a wide receiver 1, JSN and Addison quickly off the board. I actually think that Josh Downs maybe has a chance to sneak into the first round, maybe Jalen Hyatt. And with Johnson, I mean, there are some questions where he's got the size, he's got the athletic ability, but he just never really played up to that size and ability at times. And I don't know, we'll see. But I actually do think that there's a legit chance that the pride of TCU ends up falling out of the first. Lastly, hot fire prediction number 10. Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back out of Alabama, goes before Bijan Robinson. Now, for me, Robinson is a legit top 5, top 10 talent in this class, but he plays at the value position. And some teams may just see Gibbs, who led Alabama in receptions this year, as a better option for the modern passing game. And, Bijan Robinson, his value could be pushed down the board as they make a run on offensive tackles and quarterbacks and edge rushers and corners and also receivers to a degree. So he could be pushed down to the bottom of the first round, and maybe a team like the Chargers, maybe they prefer a Jahmyr Gibbs over a Bijan, and if Bijan ends up with the Bills, I mean that would kind of be certainly a win-win in that spot. And actually, hell, one more just for fun. Number 11, the Commies run out of time. So the most dysfunctional franchise pulls Vikings Kevin Williams, where they're on the clock, they run out of time, and then the Steelers or the Lions or whoever leapfrog them and get their picks in. Which would be hilarious. And now it worked out for the Vikings back in 2003, where they fell down the board. They still got Kevin Williams, who should be a Hall of Famer, but it's just hilarity, man. I want it to happen because you know that social media will just be all a buzz in that, because the Commies, they can't do anything right, man. They really can't. But that's it. That's 11 hot fire predictions for the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value. Also check out the store, purplefdw.net. Woo!